Hello everyone, and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, Roots! That's right, I wanted to try out the Insidious Roots deck now that we have some new cards to help in the Thunder Junction. And namely, I wanted to add in Lively Dirge to be able to bring creatures back from the graveyard. And that, of course, activates the Roots trigger, but also brings back our Surveil triggers. I also want to add in the Rise of Varmints. The Varmints are put at X2 or X2-1 green Varmint creature token into play, where X is the number of creature cards in our graveyard. And since we're always tossing cards in the graveyard, Varmint's going to be pretty good. And we can plot it so our opponent has to respect the 0 mana Varmint every single turn. So the rest of the deck, pretty standard Roots deck, but well, not pretty standard. I also slot in Jinnie because, well, when we Varmint, we can also Varmint into cats. So then instead of Varmints, we get 2/2 cats with haste. Not as good as what I had in the centered the combo center around Jinnie where we had the 16/16 Phyrexian what is that called, the incubator tokens, but this is still a very scary board to hit our opponent with. Alright, so let's look at the deck, right? In the 1-drop, we have so many 1-drops. We want to definitely aggressively hit the 1-drop cards like Faerie Dreamthief, 4 Faerie Dreamthief for Surveil 1, 2 Gnawing Vermin to mill 2, 2 Scorn Blade Berserker to sack a creature and draw a card. Sack this creature and draw a card for 1 mana, but once we get the Agatha Soul Cauldron to trigger to exile the skull, every one of our roots can sack to draw a card. That's pretty good, right? And we also have 4 Snarling Gorehound. This is the heart of the deck. Every time we have a creature with power 2 or less come into play, we get to Surveil 1. And guess what? Every time we summon a Varmint, we get to Surveil 1. So if you have 10 creatures in the graveyard, we Surveil 10. That's real good. We also have 2 Haywire Might. We can sack it to exile a non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment, but we also gain 2 life. So that's a little bit of some life gain, but mostly a artifact or enchantment hate. We also have 4 Rubblebelt Maverick to exile it from the graveyard to get a +1/+1 counter, but basically to help trigger the root. So that's our 1-drop, very standard for a root deck. The 2-drop, of course, I added this Dirge. That's not a 2-drop. Normally you want to cast it for 4 or 5, right? We have the Undead Butler to mill 3 on ourselves. We have 4 Insidious Roots to get the root combo out. We have 2 Agatha Soul Cauldron to exile these cards and get their activate ability on all of our roots. But only 2 because I have more. I just did not want to fit in anymore because I want to make sure I can hit creatures in the graveyard. Too many non-creature cards make this Dirge deck a little bit weaker, right? Or the Dirge deck. Then in the 3-drop, we're gonna have 4 Tyvar, of course, 2 Jinnie. Of course, I also don't want too many Jinnie. It's an addition to the combo, not the heart of the combo itself. So Jinnie is real good. It also turns the Insidious Roots into plant tokens, but I don't want them to be plant tokens. It says you may, but I've never gotten a scenario where I get to choose not to summon a cat or a dog. Maybe I was wrong, but I want to summon plants with the Insidious Root because every time we do, we get to +1/+1 on each plant, so they grow, whereas in the cats and dogs, they don't grow. Alright, and then we have the 2 cards for Dirge. You don't want too many of that because, again, they're not a creature. And we also have 4 Rise of the Varmints. That is also technically a 3-drop because we want to plot it, and then it will be a 0 mana card, and then we just get a bunch of Varmints out. Now, we're a pretty aggressive deck, so not that many lands. 20 lands total because, well, a lot of these are 1-drops, and we really want to curve into them. So we got 1 Swamp, 1 Takenuma, 1 Forest, 1 Boseiju, 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Deathcap Glade, 4 Landward Waste, and 4 Underground Mortuary. This is very good for Surveil. What I've noticed playing through the whole game today, or whole day of games. What am I saying? Playing through the day of all the games, what I wanted to kind of change, maybe, and this is definitely not a 100% change. If you don't have 4 Deathcap Glades, or if you feel like the deck is getting stuck on Deathcap Glades, you can cut this out and put in 3 more Swamps and 1 more Forest. That is definitely another way to go about it, because what I feel like is I just get tap lands always in my hand in the opening game, and I have 20 lands, only 8 of them are tap lands. So It just feels weird, right? Definitely is good to have Death Glade to help us summon Jinnie Fate, because that requires 3 green. We don't have red, we don't have white, so it requires 3 green. And because of that, it's a little bit tricky, right? That's why I have Death Glade in the deck, but maybe just basic lands will be better, just because, you know, we definitely want to have turn 1, 1 drops, turn 2, 2 drops, turn 3, 3 drops. That means all of our land needs to come to play untapped. And yeah, that's our Roots deck. I think it's okay. Definitely, it's not going to, doesn't feel as well played this whole deck out today, because I've faced against Graveyard Hate after Graveyard Hate after Graveyard Hate, and this deck basically just dies to Graveyard Hate immediately. But if your opponent's not just, you know, Graveyard Hate the deck, maybe we have a chance, right? And that's a lot of the games where I play where if you're fighting against mono black, any deck that's blue or any deck that's red, you might have a chance, because they don't have that much Graveyard Hate. Green has a lot of enchantment removals that definitely stops our combos from working, and white is just Graveyard Hate the deck now. So when it's red, they're very aggressive, but we're also very aggressive, and if we got our aggression down with Insidious Root, we can definitely out-aggro them. For blue, just plot your varmints, and then they're not going to have counterspell up every turn where you have a bunch of varmints, right? So if you have 1 or 2 and you see one of the games where we have 3 varmints, yeah, that's definitely going to stop them. All right, that's all I got for you. Let's go into the games. Our opponent is going to be Fat Ninja. All right, again, tap lands. Fun. I don't know if it's the Dirge that's hurting me. That. I will mill too. Thank you very much. Not the card I wanted to mill. Alright, what is this they're playing? Becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and draw a card. I mean, I will happily trade. Frontier Seeker. Top 5, reveal a mount card or a plains card, put it in your hand. Wow. So, we've fallen so low, huh? I want that Varmin, but I don't need this Dreamthief. Vigilance. When it becomes tapped, you gain a life. So it's a mount enabler. Right? Isn't that the plan? Alright. I can't take anything out of the graveyard, so I don't think the Roots is as good, but it'll probably just get killed, right? Let's just put more cards in the graveyard first. If he attacks, I got a rubber belt to block. Is that the plan? Another scouts. Get lost. Does he want to keep get lost on this tiny thing? He probably does. I mean, come on. Let's face it, he probably does. Stubborn burrow the saddles. Okay, scary. What does this do? Plus X plus X. Well, that's a land. We'll plop it. How many cards? 5, so that's 10 damage. I need 5 more creatures in the graveyard. That's gonna take a while. At least the Lively Dirge can bring the creatures out of the graveyard. Huh? Come on. I wonder if they have board wipes in that deck. Reach. That's really not anything. Alright, it's letting me put cards in my graveyard. So there's a 7 I've got to block, right? Can't kill the 7 though, so maybe I just kill the 4-2. What does this even do? Gain 1 life and draw a card when he saddles. I don't think that's as important as just killing these things. Not taking a 7. What do I have in my graveyard that I can bring back? That I even care about? Jinnie Fae? Jinnie Fae can come back with the Lively Dirge. So, is there a card I care about? Or do I just want extra cards in the graveyard? I'll decline. Now it's at 7. I get 14 damage through. 14 is not enough. I can tell you that. Alright, let's play this half of the combo first, right? The other half doesn't save me fast enough, does it? I had to put a lot of cards out of the grave, pull a lot of cards out of the graveyard to do that. So, play this, play that, pull a 3 mana card out of the graveyard. Search my library for a card and put it into the graveyard. Is there any card I want to throw in the graveyard that even matters? Haywire Might, not what I want to throw. Just a Dreamthief, I guess. I get to return 2 things, right? Jinnie Fae and maybe the Dreamthief. Dreamthief just surveils 2. Surveil. Oh, actually no. Where is the card I wanted to surveil? The Snarl. Mana value, a power 2. This gives me 6 surveil triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Okay. Do I? Why not? 6. There. Can't attack because I would die. This 6 only does 12 damage. But you know, he does not get through a 12-12. Get lost. Exactly what I want him to do. This is totally fine with me. Unless the second card is another get lost. Yeah, draw a card, gain a life. This is equal to number of creature cards. He's just attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we'll kill that. We will also kill these things. Maybe he has a combat trick. Just to get lost. Okay. Well, it looks scary, but that's what the backups are for.
Let's make it fight to remember. Your story's not finished yet.
I can bring back a... What can I bring back that might be important? Probably the Snarl. Ooh, that's a real good card, but I gotta toss it, right? Do I have to toss it? It's 11. Alright, let's keep it. I don't have Jinnie Fate anymore, but I have a very scary Rise of the Varmint. Lifelink. I'm gonna get so much mana next turn. Saddle up. $11-11. Scary car, no trample. Okay, so we'll block here, and then if we double block here, I can get 11 1/1s. I don't think I need to surveil anymore. We're getting that 2 life. I only have 1 car, but this 1 car is gonna scare the heck out of them. Alright, I can tap this for a green. Put that on this. You can tap this for a black. Black. I mean, I can tap this for sure. Just draw a card here. And then I can tap this for a black. Black. We'll do this again. No, don't want to play this out because the roots are scary. Alright, our Rise of the Varmints did their Varmint thing. Yay. Alright, now we're playing against Jacobus. He's on a bus. Alright, we get some Cauldron action and some lands that we can actually play. Let's see what happens. Varmint mills 2. This surveils 2. Alright, should I Varmint first or surveil first? Oh, this is kind of tricky because this can deal with whatever creature he plays. But then he hasn't played any creature yet. Yeah, good thing I didn't mill those 2 cards. Mirix. Mirix into Sleight of Hand. What are we? Yo, what? Alright, I am really weirded out. Maybe I get the root out first since he can't counter it. There's blue. Right? Blue doesn't really deal with enchantments that well. And I have 2 of these, so let's get 1 out. Blue-red. Yeah, they definitely cannot deal with the enchantments that well. They plot. A little slick show off. So, what are we gonna put? A Boseiju. You know what? We'll double root. We're not even gonna attack. Something's gonna happen, right? Slick shot show off. It's gonna be a big damage dealer. Kumano. I mean, I'm blocking you. That slick shot show off will probably still kill us, honestly. It's so big. It's not trample though. I don't know what that's for. Does he not know how blocking works? Some people doesn't know how blocking works, to be fair. Alright, this mills 2 cards, and then I can draw a card. I don't get a Cauldron out, but the Cauldron just gives me nothing here. Alright, I think this is fair. Let's put more cards in the graveyard. That might be useful. Might be. I get a land, I draw a card, and then don't want to attack right now. Another show off. I don't have reach. But he also doesn't have much. So we'll play the Dreamthief. Surveil a card. Varmin. Varmin is good, but not very right now. I got 1. I'm about to throw that away, so I'm gonna get 0. Alright, Jinnie is gonna go away. And then I'm gonna have 1, 2. Do we race? Do I just die next turn anyways? Put it on target creature I control. Let's go. Alright. Your trash deck's no match for my trash deck. We out trashed. Alright. Our opponent's gonna be the Dead Eel. I hope he's mono black. I might have a chance against mono black. You go first. We got some lands to play. This is like the dream hand, but I don't think it will matter if they're mono red or something. Stupid aggro. Okay, so far today I fought against a bunch of mono red or some sort of Boros aggro deck, and then just graveyard hate, graveyard hate, graveyard hate. So, ooh, that is a swamp. That is unexpected swampness. You're gonna cut down my Gnawing Vermin? I'm gonna gnaw them. Gnaw the heck out of them. I got 1 creature in the graveyard. Try to get more. I'm gonna cut down my Butler. I am not gonna try to return the yeah, I'm not gonna try to return those. They do have blue. Stick. Alright, you want to hold up your counter spell? Enjoy it. I thought it was mono black, which means I have a chance. If it's blue black, it's just holding up counter spells over and over, huh? You gotta keep holding up counter spells. I'm just not gonna play anything. That's a land. Alright, these are 5 mana, which means I can't do anything with them. Get Tyvar counter. But I'll just draw a card here. Go for the throw. Doesn't that help me? Five mana. Do they just have a bunch of counter spells? Dirge. Oh, that's pretty good. 4 mana, I can bring 2 cards back, right? Maybe I just do that. And then it gets countered. And that's my whole play. Yeah, sounds fun. Sounds fair. Confounding Riddle. Again. No, he's letting me do it. So we'll get the Butler. And we'll get the Gorehound. No 3 cards in Surveil 1. And I Surveil 1. I do want the Tyvar, so it gets back-to-back Tyvar it is. It's a lot of mana they have, than a lot of mana I don't have. I was letting that go. Okay, do I play the Soul Cauldron or do I play Tyvar here? Do I want to attack first? I'm not playing the Jinnie Fae, right? Not into an open board. If he wants to just keep countering.
This will make a thrilling tale.
Shieldred's Edict. I mean, that's not the best play. I already get my value.
Your story's not finished yet.
Alright, let's get our other Gorehound. That's Surveil 2. Ooh, a Varmint. No, our Varmint's like Surveil 500 or something. I have 3 forests, so at least I can play Jinnie Fae in like 10 years. Is there a card I want? No, come on. Click on my graveyard, jerk. Alright, what can I bring back? Creature. Not really a creature I want to bring back. Alright, now we're on a clock. Now we are on a clock. Still, the Restless Reef will just mill us, which makes me happier, honestly. What do they have? Nothing? Alright, they have 2 cards. They don't have 3 counter spells. Even if they do, it's not enough. If they mill us for 4, we're gonna hit them even harder. They have a Graveyard Hate, then I'm screwed. Ah. Deadly Cover-Up. What are they gonna exile in my graveyard here? Nothing really that scary. If he wants to take out the Gorehound, that's probably the best card. But if he doesn't take out the Gorehound, what did he exile? The Butler? Huh. He gets to see my hand. Does he regret his choices now? I wonder, because Jinnie Fae can definitely just get countered by his last card. And if Jinnie Fae gets countered, I really don't have much. So, guess we'll have to do it. Alright, GG. All this Varmints? I'm getting on. That's the trick of being patient. Minus 36. Goodbye. Take that. Alright, well we finally got a game in. That is the trick to varmint him out. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen those games, how did you feel about this deck? It seems like a very aggressive deck, but really, on the games that we win, it actually goes into pretty late game, right? Only 20 lands, so which is kind of weird how we got into those late games, but in those late games, it's really all about the Varmints. The root card is really good, and the roots definitely can get us games here or there, but the problem with roots right now, I feel like, is that it is not haste, right? You don't give your creature haste. the Tyvar only give your creature pseudo haste. To actually get haste with roots, you have to have red in the deck, and that's really gonna mess up the color combo. Without haste, what happened is that your opponent would just have with a temporary lockdown, and then everything gets exiled. This whole deck just dies to temporary lockdown. And I've fought so many opponents just because Boros is so good, everyone just runs temporary lockdown. Some people play Path of Perils, and just basically every single deck now has board wipe tech against this style of deck, even if it's not their intention to kill this deck. But yeah, you saw the combo here, right? Jinnie Fate, Rise of Varmint. This is my original idea of a deck. Of course, it didn't pan out, but in this Roots deck, this combo still works so well. Just, oh, I have 8 cards in the graveyard. That's 8 2/2s. That's hasting. That's 16 damage for 0 mana. And then now if I have, 3 of them, that's, what was that, 36 damage or something, that our opponent just kind of immediately crumbled, right? And that is the idea of this deck. Very strong when we can get this combo to work. Everything else is kind of just the Roots shell that on its own is pretty good, but against current graveyard hate meta, it's a little bit tricky to get around. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.